Good day everyone, and our topic for today is about cultural property in Mindanao. So what is a cultural property? Cultural property includes objects, sites, or artifacts with cultural, historical, or artistic value like monuments, historic buildings, paintings, and landmarks. These items are important because they represent a nation's heritage and identity. Protecting them help preserve our ancestors' legacy, allowing future generations to connect with their history and roots. What about World Heritage Sites? World Heritage Sites are landmarks or areas recognized by United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, for their cultural, historical, scientific, or natural significance. These sites are legally protected by international treaties and are considered important for the collective interest of humanity. Some examples of World Heritage Sites found in Mindanao are Mount Apoyo National Park, Agusan Marsh Wildlife Sanctuary, and Lake Cebu. Mount Apo National Park is the highest mountain in the Philippines. Mount Apo is a UNESCO World Heritage tentative site known for its biodiversity and cultural significance to indigenous communities. Agusan Marsh Wildlife Sanctuary, located in Agusan del Sur Province. This sanctuary is a key ecological site home to diverse wildlife and is culturally important to the local Manobo people, who have lived in the area for centuries. And last is Lake Cebu. This area is famous for its stunning natural beauty and rich cultural heritage. The indigenous Tiboli people, known for their Tanalak weaving, live in this region, preserving their ancient traditions.
Mindanao State University, MSU, Tawi-Tawi College of Technology and Oceanography. Location is on Bongao, Tawi-Tawi. Established on 1975 as part of the Mindanao State University system to focus on marine sciences and fisheries. The cultural role is play a pivotal role in the preservation and promotion of the indigenous culture of the Sama-Badiao, Tausug, and other ethnic groups in the Sulu Archipelago. Ateneo de Zamboanga University Institute of Cultural Studies for Western Mindanao. Location is in Zamboanga City, founded in 1997 as response to the need for a deeper understanding and research on the cultures of Western Mindanao. Cultural focus conducts studies on the rich cultural heritage of Western Mindanao, focusing on the Subanen, Yakan, Tausug, and other Muslim and indigenous people. Sultan Kudarat Provincial Cultural and Arts Council. Location is Isulan Sultan Kudarat, established as a part of the local government cultural preservation efforts. Focus groups concentrates on Magindanaoan, Teluray, Manobo, and other indigenous people of the region. Crops preservation supports a local artisans in maintaining traditional weaving practice like inaol, the Magindanaoan fabric, and the indigenous basketry.
Good day everyone. So in this slide, we're going to talk about the national cultural treasures. So it is a unique item found locally that has exceptional historical, cultural, artistic, and or scientific significance that is important to this country. And nation is called this, the National Cultural Treasure, or in short, NCT. Burswain Church, and is a Roman Catholic church built in 1888 in Malolos, Bulacan, Philippines. It is under the jurisdiction of the Diocese of Malolos and is about 42 kilometers or 26 miles from Manila. Next is in Visayas, and it is Cebu's holiest church, the Santo Niño Basilica, houses a revered Flemish statuette of the Christ Child or Santo Niño that dates to Magellan's time. The church is no stranger to hardship. Established in 1565, which is the first church in the Philippines. 3 earlier structures were destroyed by fire before the existing Baroque structure was built in 1737. Lastly is in Mindanao, which is the Torogan. A Torogan or Tulugan in Tagalog is a type of pre-colonial vernacular house of the Maranao people of the Philippines. A torogan was a symbol of high social status. They were very large buildings and served as the residence to a datu of the Maranao community, along with his retainers and their families. Nowadays, concrete houses are found all over Maranao communities, but there remain torogans 100 years old. The best known are in Dayawan and Marawi City and around Lake Lanao. That is all. Thank you.
National historic landmarks are buildings, sites, districts, structures, and objects that have been determined by the Secretary of the Interior to be nationally significant in American history and culture. Many of the most renowned historic properties in the nation are landmarks. Fort Santiago, located in Intramuros, Manila, is a historic Spanish citadel built in 1571. It played a key role in the Philippines' colonial history and was where national hero Jose Rizal was imprisoned before his execution. Today, it's a popular historical landmark. The next is Magellan's Cross in Cebu. Magellan's Cross in Cebu is a historic Christian symbol planted by Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan in 1521 to mark the arrival of Christianity in the Philippines. It is housed in a chapel near the Basilica del Santo Niño and is important religious and tourist landmark. Last is the Japanese Tunnel in Davao. It's a World War II era tunnel built by Japanese forces during their occupation in the Philippines. It was used for storage, shelter, and as a hideout. Today, the tunnel is a historical landmark, offering a glimpse into the country's wartime history.
National Historic Shrine, any place or object hallowed by history or association. A historic shrine, any structure or place consecrated or devoted to some saint, holy person, or deity as an altar, chapel, church, or temple, are acceptable for sacred relics are required. The first national shrine is located in Fort Santiago, Manila. This shrine honors the life and works of Dr. Jose Rizal, the Philippines' national hero. It houses memorabilia including manuscript, personal belongings, and writings of Rizal. Next is known as the Monastery of the Holy Eucharist in Sibonga, Cebu. This shrine is famous for its miraculous Virgin Mary image. It's a popular pilgrimage site for devotees seeking healing and divine intervention. And lastly, located within the Fort Pilar complex in Zamboanga City, this shrine is dedicated to Our Lady of the Pilar, the city patroness. It is both a religious and historical site, symbolizing the strong Catholic faith in the region.
National heritage monuments are significant structures or sites that holds historical, cultural, or architectural value. They are often preserved to honor the heritage and history of a nation and serve as reminders of important events, figures, or cultural practices. In the Philippines, several monuments embody the spirit and legacy of the country. Here's a description of the Rizal Monument, Mactan Shrine, and Dambana ng Kagitingan. Rizal Monument located in Rizal Park, Luneta Park in Manila. The Rizal Monument is a tribute to Dr. Jose Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines. The monument features a bronze statue of Rizal standing upright, holding a book symbolizing his intellect and contributions to Philippine society. The base of the monument includes a mausoleum where Rizal's remains are interred. It serves as a site of national pride and remembrance, commemorating his role in advocating for reforms during the Spanish colonial period and his ultimate sacrifice for Philippine independence. Mactan Shrine. This shrine is located in Lapu-Lapu City, Cebu, and commemorates the Battle of Mactan, which took place on April 27, 1521. The battle was fought between the forces of Lapu-Lapu, a local chieftain, and the Spanish explorers led by Ferdinand Magellan. The shrine features a large statue of Lapu-Lapu standing defiantly with a sword symbolizing bravery and resistance against foreign colonization. The site also includes a historical marker and a small museum, making it a significant landmark for both locals and tourists, celebrating Filipino courage and heritage. Dambana ng Kagitingan, Shrine of Valor, located on Mount Samat in Bataan. This shrine honors the bravery of Filipino and American soldiers who fought during World War II, particularly during the Bataan Death March. The site features a large cross that stands 92 meters tall, symbolizing the valor and sacrifice of those who fought for freedom. The shrine includes a museum that showcases artifacts, photographs, and information about the war, serving as a reminder of the struggles faces during the Spanish occupation and the importance of remembering the sacrifices made for the country's liberty. These monuments not only preserve the history and culture of the Philippines but also serve as places of reflection and education for future generations. That's all for National Heritage Monuments. Thank you.
The National Museum of the Philippines in Manila preserves the country's cultural, historical, and natural heritage. It includes Museum of Fine Arts and Natural History and Anthropology, showcasing artifacts, historical treasures, and Filipino art. The museum promotes national identity through exhibitions and educational programs with free public admission. And next is the National Commission for Cultural and the Arts, or NCCA, is the Philippines' lead agency for cultural development and preservation. It formulates policies, supports programs, and coordinates effort to promote and safeguard Filipino arts, culture, and heritage. The NCAA oversees various cultural institutions and funds projects that enhance country's cultural identity.
Conservation Management Plan. The Commission ensures all World Heritage Sites have a conservation management plan that follows WH Convention guidelines. This plan must include provisions for protection, conservation with maps showing boundaries and protection zones. It will be implemented by various sectors including non-government stakeholders and regularly reviewed by the Commission. Here are the examples. First is rice terraces of the Philippines Cordilleras in Ifugao. For 2,000 years, the high-rise builds of the Ifugao have followed the contours of the mountains, the fruit of knowledge handed down from one generation to the next, and the expression of sacred traditions and a delicate social balance. They have helped to create a landscape of great beauty that expresses the harmony between humankind and the environment. And next is Mount Amikitan Range Wildlife Sanctuary in Davao, forming a mountain ridge running north-south along the Fuada Peninsula in the southeastern part of the Eastern Mindanao Biodiversity Corridor. The Mount Amikitan Range Wildlife Sanctuary has an elevation range of 75 to 1,637 meters above sea level and provides critical habitat for a range of plant and animal species. The property showcases terrestrial and aquatic habitats at different elevations and includes threatened and endemic flora and fauna species, 8 of which are found only at Mount Hamiguitan. These include critically endangered trees, plants, and the iconic Philippine eagle and Philippine cockatoo. And next and lastly is Miagao Church in Iloilo. The Miagao Church, also known as the Santo Tomas de Villanueva Parish Church, is a Roman Catholic church located in Miagao, Iloilo, Philippines. It was preceded by 2 other churches, the first near the Tumakbo River in Cubos, the second on the same site and built in 1747 by the parish priest. Unfortunately, both were burned and plundered by Muslim pirates, so the townsfolk decided to build something stronger this time on the highest ground where they could have a commanding view of the mouth of the Niagara River, the usual route how the pirates made their way into town.
Privileges for cultural property. Cultural properties receive government funding for protection, conservation, and restoration, along with incentives for private support. Heritage markers identify important sites, and during conflict or disasters, these properties are prioritized for protection.
The Rizal Monument is a significant cultural property in the Philippines, and it enjoys several privileges that reflects its importance. The monument serves as a focal point for education about Dr. Jose Rizal's contribution to the Philippine history and nationalism. It attracts school groups and tourists, fostering a deeper understanding of the country's heritage. The site is used for various events and ceremonies such as Rizal Day celebration on December 30, allowing the public to engage with and honor national history. These privileges ensure that the Rizal Monument not only commemorates a key figure in the Philippine history but also serves as a vibrant part of the community and national identity.
The right of first refusal on the sale of the national cultural treasures means that when a national cultural treasure is about to be sold, the government of the designated cultural agency such as the National Museum or the National Commission for Cultural and the Arts in the Philippines must be given the first opportunity to purchase it before it is offered to other buyers. This ensures the valuable cultural heritage remains under the national protection and it's not sold abroad or to private entities without the government knowledge. One example of the right of first refusal on the sales of national cultural treasures in the Philippines is the National Museum of the Philippines. If a national cultural treasure such as the important artifact or the historical object is being sold or transferred, the National Museum has the right to be offered the item first before it can be sold to other buyers. This mechanism helps ensure that significant cultural items remain within the country for preservation and public access.
Dealings of cultural property. No cultural property shall be sold, resold, and taken out of the country without first securing a clearance from the cultural agency concerned. In case the property shall be taken out of the country, and it shall be solely be for the purpose of scientific scrutiny or exhibit. Example, in 2017, a 2,000-year-old Balangay boat, a national cultural treasure, was discovered in Butuan City. This ancient wooden is significant because it represents the early maritime culture of the Philippines. It is under the Philippine law, the balangay cannot be sold, exported, or transferred without permission from agencies like the National Museum and the NCCA.
Sale or resale of cultural property. National cultural treasures shall not change ownership except by inheritance or by sale duly approved by the concerned cultural agency, provided, however, that it may not be taken out of the country for reasons of inheritance or sale. National cultural treasures may be taken out of the country only with a written permit from the concerned cultural agency and only for purposes of exhibition or for scientific scrutiny, but shall be returned immediately after such exhibition or study, provided, however, that necessary safeguards have only been duly complied with as required by the concerned cultural agency. For example, involving the sale or resale of cultural agency in the Philippines is the case of the Manunggul jar, a prehistoric burial jar considered a national cultural treasure, discovered in the Tabon Caves of Palawan. The jar dates back to approximately 890 to 710 BCE and is a vital part of the country's cultural heritage.
As we conclude our exploration of Mindanao's heritage, we are reminded of the island's rich tapestry of culture, history, and natural beauty. It is our responsibility to ensure that these treasures are protected and preserved for generations to come. Let us embrace the lessons of the past, celebrate the vibrant present, and work together to build a sustainable future for Mindanao's heritage. Thank you for listening.